Hello dear student, welcome to new session of motion in straight line. It is your fourth lecture. In this lecture we will discuss equations of motion with constant acceleration. Write down, your topic name is equations of motion with constant acceleration. Equations of motion with constant acceleration. My dear student, remember this thing that all the equations of motion which we derived here is only valid if the acceleration is constant. If acceleration is not constant, then these equations of motion are not at all valid in any stage. So remember this thing, the equations of motion is only valid if the acceleration is constant. So I'll write in form of note that all the equations of motion is valid only if acceleration of particle is constant. You have to remember this thing, my dear student, that all these equations are only valid if acceleration is constant. If acceleration is not constant, then at any circumstance these equations are not valid. Next thing is, we have to consider some terms that I'll say, let the initial velocity, I'm considering initial velocity of particle is equals to u vector. We are considering here initial velocity of particle to be u vector. Similarly, final velocity of particle to be v vector. Initial velocity of particle is considered by me is u vector, and final velocity of particle is considered by me with v vector. Now moving forward, initial time of particle is t is equals to t1. We are considering initial time of particle as t is equals to t1. Similarly, final time of particle is considered to be t is equals to t2. So remember, my dear student, initial velocity of particle is considered to be u vector, first thing. Second thing, final velocity of particle is considered to be v vector. Third thing, initial time of particle is considered to be t1, and fourth thing, initial time or final time of particle is considered to be t2. Now moving forward, we all know about equations of motion. In 9th standard you already studied about equations of motion, that was v is equals to u plus at is your first equation. Second equation must be s is equals to ut plus half at square, and third equation is your v square minus u square is equals to 2as. These are the three equations which you already discussed, which you already covered in class 9th standard. In class 9th you will already discussed about these equations of motion, but now we have to derive these formula with calculus method. Remember, I am repeating once again, we have to derive these formula with calculus method. Calculus means either you will opt differentiation or you will opt integration. So starting from first equation of motion, write down first equation of motion. First equation of motion with constant acceleration. First equation of motion with constant acceleration, first equation of motion with constant acceleration. See, in first equation we have v is equals to u plus at, where v is final velocity, u is initial velocity, a is acceleration, and t is time. And remember one thing, my dear student, I'm repeating again and again that all these equations are only valid if acceleration of particle is constant. If acceleration of particle is not constant, then these equations of motion are not at all valid. First thing. Second thing, one more point that you have to understand is, once the motion started, we cannot change the initial velocity of particle. I am repeating once again. Once the motion started, we cannot change the velocity. We cannot change the initial velocity of particle. So one more thing that you have to remember is initial velocity of particle once motion started is also constant. Once motion started is also constant. So I'll write here u is your initial velocity, and we know that velocity is a vector quantity. That's why I'll put an arrow mark. So initial velocity of particle is u vector, and it always constant because once motion started, we cannot change the initial velocity of particle. So u is constant. Moving forward, final velocity is represented by v vector, initial time is t1 and final time is t2. Now moving forward, we are deriving first equation of motion. Now see, first equation is v is equals to u plus at. In first equation, we have final velocity, we have initial velocity, and we have acceleration as well. So recall the equation of motion by equation of motion, or we can say by fundamental equation of motion, it is, see, there is an equation in which acceleration is there and velocity is there. So I'll write here a is equals to change in velocity upon change in time. Now see, dt can become this side, so it will be dv vector is equals to a into dt. A is your acceleration, and acceleration we know that it is a vector quantity. Now see, my dear student, this dv is basically small change in velocity and dt is basically small change in time. I already tell you, my dear student, that if small change is given and we wish to find total change, then we have to integrate. If small quantity is given and we wish to find total, so we have to opt integration. So for net change in velocity, integrating both side, we have to integrate both side. So integration of dv vector is equals to integration a vector into dt. Now see, my dear student, I already tell you that acceleration is always remains constant if we are dealing with equation of motion. So acceleration is constant, so it will comes outside, then it will be dv vector is equals to a comes outside and dt. Now see, my dear student, we'll already consider that velocity initial is u vector and velocity final is v vector. Initial time is t1 and final time is t2. So my dear student, this dv means change in velocity. So just think about change in velocity. From where to where velocity changes? So velocity will changes from u to v. Why? Because u is initial velocity and v is final velocity. So we'll say the velocity is changing from u vector to v vector. So we'll put the limit of velocity here. It is u vector to v vector. Now see, dt means change in time. So time is changes from t1 to t2. So what we'll say? We'll say the limit of time is t is equals to t1 to t is equals to t2. Now we know that integration of dx is x. So integration of dv vector must be v vector. So I'll write here v vector. Lower limit is u vector, upper limit is v vector is equals to a vector, and integration of dt must be t. It is from t1 to tt. t2. Now we know that if we have definite integration, then limit is there. Now we have to put the limit. So we know that the process of putting the limit is upper limit minus lower limit. So it is v vector minus u vector is equals to a vector into t2 minus t1. Now see, if I am taking t1 is equals to 0 and t2 is equals to t, we'll get v vector minus u vector is equals to a vector t minus 0. I am taking initial time as 0 and final time as t. So t2 minus t1, it is t minus 0. So v vector minus u vector is equals to a vector into t. So v vector is equals to u vector plus a vector into t. This is your first equation of motion, my dear student, with constant acceleration. I hope you all understand how we'll get this equation of motion. Remember this thing beta, this method is said to be calculus method. We will derive equation of motion with two different methods. One will be with graphical method and other will be of calculus method. So this method is called calculus method. Graphical method is already done by you in class 9th. It is 11th class, or we can say first year class. That's why we'll follow integration. So remember this thing, dv means change in velocity, and we know that velocity is changing from u to v. That's why I'll put limit in velocity from u to v. We know that time is also changing because dt is basically nothing but change in time, and time is changing from t1 to t2. That's why I'll put limit of time as t1 to t2, and we know that integration of dt is t. So t upper limit minus lower limit, it is t2 minus t1. So I hope you all understand first equation of motion with constant acceleration. Now moving forward, we'll discuss second equation of motion with constant acceleration. So write down second equation of motion, write down second equation of motion with constant acceleration. Second equation of motion with constant acceleration. One more thing that you have to remember, my dear student, is s is not a distance. This s is nothing but displacement. Remember this thing. This is very important point. Lots of students think that this s is displacement sometime, or sometime it is distance. But no, this s is never be distance. This s is always displacement. Remember, this s is always displacement. Now moving forward, we'll discuss about second equation of motion. Second equation of motion with constant acceleration. Second equation of motion with constant acceleration. Now see, my dear student, we know that v is equals to dr vector by dt, where dr is basically small change in displacement vector with respect to small change in time, that is dr vector by dt. Now I'll take dt this side, so it is dr vector is equals to v vector into dt. Now see, my dear student, dr is small change in displacement, dt is small change in time. Let's suppose, let the initial displacement of particle is equals to, let's say, r1 vector, and final displacement is considered to be r2 vector. So we know that dr vector is nothing but change in position vector, or we can say change in displacement vector, because we already know that displacement vector is nothing but change in position vector. So this dr vector is sounds as small change in position vector, or we can say small change in displacement vector. So if we wish to find total change, I already tell you, if small term is given and you wish to find total change, then we have to follow integration. So I'll write here, for net change in displacement vector integrating both sides. So I'll integrate dr vector is equals to integration v vector into dt. Now see my dear student, dr means nothing but change in position vector, or we can say small change in displacement vector. So our displacement is changing from r1 vector to r2 vector. So I'll put limit here from r1 vector to r2 vector. And we know that the value of v vector is nothing but u vector plus a vector into t. So I'll put the value of v vector here. So what we'll get, we know that integration of dr vector is r vector, and it is r2 vector, r1 to r2, it is equals to integration of, instead of v I'll write u vector plus a vector into t into dt. Now I'll split the term here. Let's rub first to make some space, because this equation is sort of big equation. We need more space. I hope you all are understanding the equations of motion. So this is all. Now we'll put limit. So limit must be upper limit minus lower limit. So before putting the limit, let us multiply dt and integrate it separately. So it is r2 vector minus r1 vector, upper limit minus lower limit, is equals to integration u vector into dt plus integration a vector into t into dt. See, dt is multiplied with u and dt is multiplied with a t dt. Now we know that the initial time is t1 and final time is t2. Initial time is t1 and final time is t2, and we'll consider initial time as 0 and final time as t. So t1 is equals to 0 and t2 is equals to t. Now see beta, r2 vector minus r1 vector can be write as change in position vector, which is equals to u. U is initial velocity. I already tell you, if motion started, then initial velocity of particle cannot change. So I'll take u outside. So u comes outside, it will be dt from 0 to t plus acceleration itself is constant, comes outside, t dt from 0 to t. Now displacement vector, which is also called change in position vector, is equals to u vector dt, integration of dt is t and limit is 0 to t plus a vector. If nothing is there, 1 is present, so t dt x dx, x raised to power 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1. So I'll write here t 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1, and limit is from 0 to t. Now see my dear student, it is equals to change in position vector, which is also called displacement vector. It is equals to u vector into t plus half a vector into t square, because we'll put one time t and one time 0, so it will be t minus 0, so it is t square. So I hope you all understand second equation of motion 2, my dear student. It is, second equation says change in position vector, which is also called displacement vector, is equals to u vector into t plus half a vector into t square. This is your second equation of motion. I hope you all understand how we'll get second equation of motion. Now moving forward, let us discuss third equation of motion with constant acceleration. So write down third equation of motion with constant acceleration. Write down third equation of motion with constant acceleration. Third equation of motion with constant acceleration. Third equation of motion with constant acceleration. So third equation of motion is v square minus u square is equals to 2as. That is our third equation of motion. So we are discussing third equation of motion. I'll write here third equation of motion with constant acceleration. I hope you all are getting my point. I hope so. So third equation is nothing but v square minus u square is equals to 2as. In this equation we have final velocity, in this equation we have initial velocity, in this equation we have displacement, in this equation we have acceleration. So all the things are present in third equation of motion. So think about which fundamental equation will be valid to derive third equation of motion. Try to understand. So my dear student, we know that acceleration is change in velocity upon change in time, that is dv vector upon dt, dv vector upon dt, dv vector upon dt. Now what we have to do, we have to multiply RHS with dr vector and divide by dr vector. So what we'll get, my dear student, we'll get a vector is equals to dv vector by dt multiply dr vector divided by dr vector. Now see, my dear student, dr vector by dt, so we know that velocity vector will be write as dr vector by dt. So instead of dr vector by dt, we'll write here v vector. So what we'll get, we'll get a vector is equals to v vector into dv vector upon dr vector. Dr vector, let comes this side, so it will be v vector into dv vector is equals to a vector into dr vector. So we know that dr vector is nothing but small change in position vector, or we can say small change in displacement vector, and we know that our particle is changes its position from r1 vector to r2 vector. So in this side we'll put limit r1 to r2, and here dv vector means change in velocity. So velocity is changing from u vector to v vector, so we'll put limit in this side u to v. Now for net change, I'll write here for net change integrating both side. So integrating a vector dr vector is equals to integration v vector dv vector. Now see, position is changing from r1 vector to r2 vector, and velocity is changing from u vector to v vector. See, my dear student, try to pronounce, this is dv vector. So dv vector is nothing but change in velocity vector, and we know that our velocity is changing from u vector to v vector. That's why I'll put here limit u to v, and this dr vector is nothing but change in position vector. So our particle is changing its position from r1 vector to r2 vector. That's why I'll put limit r1 vector to r2 vector. So moving forward, we know that acceleration is constant, comes outside from integration. So it is r1 vector to r2 vector is equals to integration v vector dv, and limit is u to v. Now we know that integration of dr is r vector and limit is r1 vector to r2 vector, which is equals to x dx, x square by 2, so v dv, that means v square by 2, and limit is u to v. Now we are trying to put the limit. So limit means upper limit minus lower limit. So what we'll get? We'll get a vector into upper limit, it is r2 vector minus r1 vector. Instead of r, first we'll put upper limit, minus again instead of r we'll put lower limit, that is r1 vector, is equals to half is taking outside, so inside it is v vector and limit is u vector to v vector. Now we know that it is equals to change in position vector, which is equals to half upper limit minus lower limit. So we know that 2 comes this side, so it is v square. So v square and u square. So v square vector minus u square vector is equals to 2 a vector d vector, because we know that change in position vector is nothing but displacement vector. So this is your third equation of motion, my dear student. It is v vector square minus u vector square is equals to 2a d vector, or we can say 2a delta r vector, where delta r vector is nothing but change in position vector. So remember this thing, my dear student. This is your calculus method for finding equations of motion with constant acceleration. I hope you all understand how we are finding the equation of motion. Remember, this method is calculus method. One more method is there for finding equations of motion, which is graphical method. See, graphical method is already studied in class 9th. That's why I'll opt calculus method for finding equations of motion. This topic is very important for your school exam, my dear student. So try to understand each and every concept. How we'll go ahead with integration, how we'll put the limit. We know that integration, after integrating the term, we have to put some limit. Limit process is upper limit minus lower limit. So this is all about equations of motion with constant acceleration. Now moving forward, try to find some numerical, my dear student. So write down your first numerical. Write down the first numerical. It is, write down, it is the displacement x of a particle. The displacement x of a particle. The displacement x of a particle is given by equation. The displacement x of a particle is given by equation. The displacement x of a particle is given by equation, is given by equation, and the equation is x is equals to 4t square, x is equals to 4t square minus 15t plus 25. X is equals to 4t square minus 15t plus 25. Find the position, find the position, find the position, velocity, find the position, velocity and acceleration of particle. Find the position, velocity and acceleration of particle, and acceleration of particle at t is equals to 0. At t is equals to 0. At t is equals to 0. So we have to find the position, velocity and acceleration. We have to find acceleration, we have to find velocity, we have to find position of particle at x is equals to 0. At at t is equals to 0. Now, when will the velocity, second part of the question is, when will the velocity, when will the velocity of the particle, when will the velocity of particle becomes 0? When will the velocity of particle becomes 0? When will the velocity of particle becomes 0? They are asking at what time velocity of particle becomes equals to 0. Now see, my dear student, we have to find first the position of particle. We have to find first the position of particle at t is equals to 0. So first is your position. See, we have given the value of x, it is 4t square minus 15t plus 25. They are saying position, find the position of particle at t is equals to 0. So nothing will be complicated here, just put the value of t. So it is x is equals to 4 into 0 square minus 15 into 0 plus 25. So position at t is equals to 0 is 25. It's so simple. Moving forward, finding second part, we have to find now velocity. So we know that velocity is nothing but change in position with respect to time. We have to differentiate the position with respect to time, we'll get velocity. So try to find the value of velocity. It is v is equals to d over dt, and the value of x is 4t square minus 15t plus 25. You must know the process of differentiation, my dear student. So we know that 4t square, it will be 4 into 2 t, 2 minus 1 minus 15 comes outside, dt get cancelled, it becomes 1 and 25 is constant, so its value is 0. Now moving forward, 4 2s are 8t minus 15. Now they are saying velocity at t is equals to 0. So put the value of t, you will get 8 into 0 minus 15, it is minus 15 meter per second. So velocity of particle at t is equals to 0 is minus 15 meter per second. Now my dear student, try to understand one more thing here, that if velocity comes negative, it implies particle is retarding. Retarding means initial velocity of particle is greater than final velocity of particle. If initial velocity of particle is greater than final velocity of particle, then we will say particle is retarding. That means the velocity of particle comes to be negative. Now moving forward, next is your third part. You have to find acceleration of particle at t is equals to 0. See my dear student, we know that acceleration is change in velocity with respect to time. So d over dt will get the equation of velocity. This is our equation of velocity. It is 8t minus 15. So I'll write here 8t minus 15. So what we'll get? We'll get 8 as comes outside dt get 1. So acceleration is equals to 8 meter per second square. Now see my dear student, in equation of acceleration t is not present. In equation of acceleration t is not present. So if t is not present, that it implies acceleration is constant because it is independent to t. Now they are saying in next part, when will the velocity of particle becomes 0? You have to find the time, at what time the velocity of particle becomes 0. So we know that equation of velocity is 8t minus 15. They are saying that at what time velocity is 0. So what we have to do, we'll put velocity, the value of velocity is to be 0. So it is 8t minus 15 is equals to 0. So 8 is equals to 15. So t is equals to 15 by 8 seconds. This is the time when the velocity of particle becomes equals to 0. This is very easy question, my dear student. I hope you all understand how to solve these types of question. Moving forward, let us discuss more question. Write down next question. The distance x of a particle, write down next question. The distance x of a particle, the distance x of a particle, the distance x of a particle, the distance x of a particle so our next question is the distance x of a particle moving in one dimension under the action of a constant force, under the action of a constant force is related to time t, by the equation t is equals to under root x plus 3, by the equation t is equals to under root x plus 3. Root is only with x, not along with 3. So t is equals to under root x plus 3, where x is in meter, and t in second, where x is in meter and t in second. Find the displacement of particle. You have to find the displacement. So find the displacement of particle. Find the displacement of particle when its velocity is 0. Find the displacement of particle when its velocity is 0. You have to find the displacement of particle in that condition when its velocity is 0, my dear student. In equation we have t given and we wish to find the displacement when velocity becomes equal to 0. We have to find velocity when becomes equals to 0. Now see, my dear student, t is given and t is under root x plus 3. I'll take t this side. So what we'll get? We'll get under root x is equals to t minus 3. Now squaring both sides. So if I'll square both sides, we'll get under root x square is equals to t minus 3 square. Square and root get cancelled. So what we'll get? X is equals to t minus 3 square. Now I'll open the formula. It is a minus b square. So a square plus b square minus 2ab. Minus 2ab. So x is equals to t square plus 9 minus 60. This is the equation of displacement. We have t given and t is equals to under root x by 3. Under root x plus 3. We'll take 3 this side and evaluate it. So we'll get x is equals to 2 square plus 9 minus 60. The question is, find the displacement of particle when its velocity is 0. So this is the equation of displacement. But in this equation t is given. In this equation of displacement is basically in terms of t. They are saying that find the displacement when its velocity is 0. So try to find the velocity first. So we know that velocity is equals to dx by dt. So it is v is equals to d over dt and the value of x is t square plus 9 minus 60. So we'll get t square means 2t, 9 becomes 0 minus 6. So v is equals to 2t minus 6. This is the equation of velocity. Now they are saying that what is the displacement? This is the equation of displacement when its velocity is 0. So see, in velocity t is also present. So let it to be equals to 0 because in question they are saying what is the value of displacement, or we can say find the value of displacement when its velocity is 0. So by putting the velocity equals to 0, we'll get the value of t. It is 2t is equals to 6. So 2 3s are 6. So t becomes 3 seconds. Now put this value t in this equation. So it is 3 square plus 9 minus 6 into 3. So 9 plus 9 minus 18. So 18 becomes 0. So displacement is equals to 0. So I hope you all understand how to solve these kinds of question. Try to understand the equation, try to understand the concept they are asking, and try to recall all the formula and imply it. You'll get definitely the answer. So thank you so much, dear student, connecting with us. In next lecture, we'll practice some more questions related to equations of motion, fundamental equations of motion, and try to cover one more topic, which is equation of trajectory. So stay home, stay safe, take care. In next lecture, we'll discuss more questions, more topic. I hope you all are making your proper notes. You all are understanding each and every concept. If not, then go ahead again and again through video. So thank you so much, my dear student. We'll meet in next class with new topic, with new numerical. So take care. Thank you so much.